In this video, I'm going to show you how to create a provisioning package with Windows Configuration Manager that installs different type of software packages. So let's start by clicking on File, New Project. I will name it Software _ Bundle. Click Next, Next. Here I will select all Windows Desktop editions. Click Next and finish. Expand the runtime settings. Let's go to provisioning commands and then primary context and command. And from here I will be using my GitHub page that I have all the necessary information to make this package. First of all, there are download links to the software that I will be using. And second part is there are the installation commands that are required to complete the installation silently using the Windows Configuration Designer. So I will be starting by just downloading everything. And one of my goals will be is to download as much as possible MSI installers, because they are 10 times easier to deal with than executables. And I will explain a little bit later what I mean with that. So I will click on 7-zip, and here if you can see there is an MSI download link. I will click on that, go to the next one, Acrobat Reader. I will be selecting Windows 11, language English. Let's wait for the version, only one available. I will select that and click on download. And we were not successful to get the MSI. We got an executable, but I was prepared for that. Okay, let's continue. Now let's go to Firefox, and I will click on Google Chrome at the same time. Okay. While Firefox is loading, I will go to the Google page. For this channel, I will leave it at stable. For file type, I will select MSI and click download, accept and download. Let's go back to Firefox. Browser Firefox is fine. Preferred installer, I will select the MSI one and download now. Okay, what's next? Node++ and VLC. Okay, this will be an executable. This will also be an executable when it starts to download. Okay, then is Visual Studio and Zoom. For Visual Studio, we need a system installer. Click on 64. And for the Zoom, we are lucky and we got an MSI installer. Okay, now let's go to the top, and we will be starting with 7-zip. And all MSI installers are installed here using MSI exec. You could, in some cases, use just the file name and the silent arguments. But from my testing, I got a lot of failed installations without using MSI exec, especially when running the provisioning package from out-of-the-box experience. Most of the problems are in the out-of-the-box experience. If it's a fully set up desktop computer that someone is already using, in most cases, there are no problems. But if there are no users and computer is out of the box experience, yeah, it gets a bit funky sometimes, and you need to use one or two workarounds to make it work. And for MSI files, using MSI exec seems to work most of the time. I didn't have an incident when using MSI installer with MSI exec that it didn't work in the out-of-the-box experience. Okay, so for the next step, I will copy the command and go back to Configuration Designer. Now we need to name this installation package. I will name it install 7-zip. Click add. Click on the name. Now we need to provide the installation command here and browse for the file. And the file is here. Also, if you're using my GitHub, make sure that the executable name matches the executable name in the command, in the installation command, because most of them contain some type of version number. And if you're watching this video a few days later, there are high chances that the executable name is different right now. Okay, so we're done with 7-zip. You could fill out the other information, but the default ones works just fine in most cases. Let's go back to primary context. Command, and let's name it install Adobe Reader. Click add. Go inside of it, browse for the executable. And let's grab the command line from GitHub. Double check the name, looks fine. Back to command. Let's add another one, and the other one is Firefox. So I will name it install Firefox. Click add, expand command, paste in the command, browse for the file, double check the name. Okay, seems fine. Next one is Google Chrome. I will copy the command, go to the Configuration Manager and name it install Google Chrome. Click add, go inside, browse for the executable, and paste in the command. Okay. Next one is Notepad++. And as you can see, the command is a bit funky. Well, actually, it's two commands. Well, a single command that has two commands. So the first part of the command, it copies the installation executable from the default provisioning package location into the C Windows temp folder. And I do that because if I don't, when running the executable from the default location, most of the times it gets stuck. And it gets stuck because it throws an error message that executable cannot be found. And that error message appears only from that location. So the easiest way I found how to deal with it is just to copy to the other location. And that other location in this case is C Windows temp directory. You could change it to something else or create some other folder, but I use some temp directory because at some point it will be cleared out and the executable will be deleted, so it will not take extra space. So the first part copies it to the temp directory, and the second part runs it from that directory. And if you look at VLC, I do the same. Same with Visual Studio Code. The only one that worked just fine was Acrobat Reader. And maybe that's because it's not really it's kind of like an executable, but it's more like an archive. And before starting the installation, it expands the executable in the other location and the MSI file in the other location, and then runs it. Maybe that's why this is the only software in this list that works just fine without copying it to the temp directory. Anyways, if you have any other solutions for this problem, you can post it in the comments down below. But this seems good enough for most cases. So I will copy it, go back to the configuration designer. So I will name it install Notepad++. I will paste in the command and browse for the executable. Double check the name, it's fine. Let's add another one, and other one is we'll see. Click add, install, paste in the command, browse, downloads. Okay. Next one, if I remember correctly, is Visual Studio Code. Click add. Okay. I will copy the command. Paste it here, go to downloads. Okay, and I think the last one was Zoom. Click add. Okay. Let's copy the command. And it's an MSI package. And it's not only configuration designer. A lot of other deployment tools works a lot better with MSI packages. It's just way easier to deal with them. Here is them. Yeah. Okay. So we're done with our software list. It's 8 software packages, so I think it's fine to show it in a video. If you have some suggestions for, let's say, another software package, you can write it in the description, and most likely I will make a video about installing the software. Okay, now let's export the provisioning package. For the owner, I will select IT admin, click next, next, and build. Okay, now I will click on the output location. It will open the folder, and the only file that we need for it to work is the ppkg one. So I will copy it, and I have prepared 2 virtual machines. And this package goes into the normal virtual machine, which already has a user. And this software package needs to be run on the account that has administrator privileges, because it will be installing software. So I will double click yes, add it. I will also open up control panel to see the installed program list. I will sort it by install date, and as you can see, 7-zip is already installed. We can also open up Task Manager, go to details, and see that Acrobat Reader is currently installing. Okay, so I will not wait for all the software to finish installing. Let's continue editing our provisioning package, and let's say make it so that it will work in the out-of-the-box experience, because this is the more difficult approach. So for that we need to go to OOBE. Let's hide out-of-the-box experience, and also let's create a user accounts. For user accounts, go to accounts, users, then type in a name. I will type admin, click add, go here. For a user group, I will select administrator, and for password, I will type something very secret, like password 55. And that's about it. Now we can export it again. Click next. If you want to have both versions of provisioning package, you can change directory here. So it would not overwrite it, but in my case, I don't really care. So I will just click next, confirm, build, and let's wait a bit. Or let's check how the installation is doing. As you can see, there's Acrobat Reader, Firefox, Google Chrome. The software keeps installing. Yeah, the provisioning package also was created. I will once again copy it, and this time I will paste it in the USB drive that I have plugged in into my computer. I will paste it here, because I can connect the USB drive to the out-of-the-box experience virtual machine. As you can see, it's the language selection screen, the first screen that you see when you get a new computer or when you freshly install Windows. Normally you would need to click a lot to finish the installation. But in our case, we will be using provisioning package to skip all of it. So I will connect the USB drive. It should automatically detect the package and start applying it. Yeah, as you can see, it started running. First it copies the necessary files to the computer and then starts running them. As you can see, we can remove the media now. But I will click on my keyboard Shift and F10 to open a command line. And then I will open Task Manager. I made a mistake. Okay, go to Details. Details. I will add another column. I will add command line. Where is it? Here. Yeah, and as you can see, Adobe Reader, I think, just finished installing, and now Mozilla Firefox is installing, so it seems to be going just fine. Let's go back to the other one. It should be over by now, I guess. Let's sort by installation date, and let's just scan how many software we have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, so 7 software has been installed, just like in the package. Well, there is the Microsoft Edge stuff that installed also during our package installation, but it didn't came from our package. This was most likely from Windows Update. Yeah, so this machine seems to be working just fine. We can open up this newly installed software. Everything seems to be working just fine. No problems, no errors. And let's go back to OOBE. Oh, as you can see, it finished installing. I will enter my super secret password. it doesn't have VMware Workstation tools installed, so the resolution is kind of low. I hope you can see something at least. Let's wait for our profile to finish loading. Next, accept. As you can see, most of the software is on the desktop already. So let's go to control panel, to the software list. Let's group by installation date, and let's simply count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, seems like all the packages also installed successfully. Let's also click on some of them. Yeah, seems to be working just fine. Can also create a folder and then show more properties. As you can see, we can use 7-zip to create an archive. So yeah, that's kind of it for this video. I will leave a URL for for this GitHub page down in the description. And like I said, if you want to see some more of the software installation packages or guides how to make packages, you can leave some suggestions in the description down below. So see you in the next one.